big offensive win down at Northeastern State. Obviously, Pittsburgh State, number 3 team in the country. What's it like playing in 2 completely different games like that?
Well, obviously, first week was a really good kind of gauge of where we were at and kind of just set the tone for the season. We knew coming into weeks 2 and 3 that obviously competition would be up, and we knew that we had 2 strong challenges ahead of us. But I think we went into the game confident what we could do, and there was a lot of good things we could take away from that first game, I believe. I think that we came out strong, and we showed that when we're at our best, how strong we can be. But I also think it's important for us to kind of take a step back and look at some of the things we can switch and how to keep us in that mode we were the first 2 quarters for 4 quarters of a game. But I think that it was kind of interesting going from week 1 to week 2, but we still have a lot of things we can get better at. I know us as players this week are kind of really focusing on putting those 2 quarters into a full game, and I think that's important for all of us. I think it's a big focus this week, and I think we all know that we're capable of it, and it's just a matter of, putting it on the field. So.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys have done a lot of introspection with everything. Any reason why the second half turned out the way it did after such a good first half? You got to put a finger on any of that?
I think there was kind of a lot of things that led into that. They started making plays, and we started, missing some opportunities, which kind of led to a domino effect, which is definitely something we need to work on as a team morale, I believe. And I think that, like I said, we took a lot of good things away from that game, and even though it didn't end how we would have liked by any means, I think that kind of as a team, we can use that moving forward in a lot of different aspects. We learned a lot, and I think that we'll be okay as long as we just, really come together at this point. And we've been really harping on it a lot this year compared to, I think, past years, is the brotherhood that we have in this team. And I think that it's unique how close we are as guys. And I think that we're not going to let one half of the season define us by any means. So,
when you look at that first half, obviously a lot to good. It's got to be exciting knowing you can hopefully build off of that. And when you play well, you can play with anybody.
Yes, sir. I think that is a key takeaway we're trying to take away from that game. And I think that, like I said, if we can take those 2 corners and put it into a full game, we can play with anyone in this conference. And I think we all believe that. And I think it's just, like I said, putting it on field. So.
Last week, Coach Brown said that by the time the buses got back to Hayes, everybody had pretty well put the win behind them and were focused on the next game at hand, which was Pitt State. How quickly has everybody put the loss behind them to focus on Northwestern?
I think that, just like the first game, we got to go week by week, and Brown harps on us that whether win or loss, you can reflect on it for that day, but football season moves fast, and each game is a different task, different challenge, and I think that as a team we're focused on the challenges at hand this week, and I think that we are really looking forward to getting back on the track I believe we can be on. But I think we're not by any means forgetting that loss. We're taking the opportunities that we had, and we're taking the lessons we learned, and we're going to use that this week and attack what's at hand for us. So.
Probably unfair because of the defense that you guys just played against, but what does the offense have to do to be more consistent in a game?
We got to stack plays together. I think when we're at our best is when we stack long drives together, along with a few explosive plays here and there, and it's kind of just making that play when your number's called. And when we're at our best, we're rolling, and everything's kind of flowing together, and morale's up, and we kind of just gel well when we're at our best. And so we know what we can do when we're in that zone and we're playing hard and we're playing together. It's just a matter of fact of stacking it and making it a every drive norm for us. So.
Challenges Northwest poses. It looks like their defense, even though they gave up a lot of points and a lot of turnovers, still pretty solid on the defensive side as well.
Yeah, Northwest is a great program, a lot of history. I know our coaches have a lot of respect for each other and a lot of history. And when it comes to the matchup, I think that by no means are we taking this match lightly at all. I think that we're just as focused as we were this past week, and I think we're going to take the same amount of focus into every week in this conference. There's not a team in this conference you can look past or even look over. Every team has earned respect in some sort, and so it's just a matter of playing our game and not really focusing on who it is, just kind of fixing what we need to fix and addressing what we need to address and carrying that over into each week, especially this week, and just making the plays we need to make. So.
You talk about taking it game by game and looking at each game, but do you guys look at the significance, even though it's only week 3? I mean, the winner of this one obviously is still right there and battling with Pitt State for the conference. The loser, it's going to be a little bit more of a challenge. You guys take a look at, maybe the 50,000-foot look down on the whole situation, or even considering those things.
I think we attack every game knowing that it's a big game, and I think that everyone's on the same page, knowing how important this game is for our coaching staff and for us. Not only in the grand scheme of things, but we just want to win. We want to win at Hayes. We want to represent our school in this town the best we can, and it's a good opportunity to play a really good football team here at home again, and kind of just try to get back on track of how we believe we can play. It's just a matter of proving that to this conference, and so I understand the question 100%, but I think that as a team, we're just focused on the task at hand and trying to prove to ourselves, prove to this conference, and just show what we can do when we're at our best. So,
ask every player this, so you can get ready too. Why did you choose Fort Hays State University to play football?
That's a good question. Fort Hays for me. So I was a COVID kid. My junior year is when COVID hit, and my senior year was really in its full was COVID, and so a lot of things were out of our control. And Brown immediately got my attention, and I came on a visit up here. And throughout my so long ago now, think about it, but throughout my recruitment, a big thing for me was faith, family, and football. And that was the first thing I saw on Brown's PowerPoint. And I immediately kind of nudged my parents, and he had me hooked from there. And then really left an impact on me after I left the visit. And I kind of just told my parents, this is where I want to be. This is what I want to play for. I like the town a lot. I have family in Lawrence, not too far. But I think Brown really sealed the deal for me when it comes to that. The bond I've been able to create with Coach Brown is one that I am truly grateful for. I'm truly grateful for the people I've met out here. Overall, Hayes has been the best decision I think I've ever made, not only as a football aspect, but I think for me as a person. And so a lot of good takeaways being a part of this program and a lot of growth for me personally. But Coach Brown is a huge reason for why I'm sitting here today. So I appreciate him for that.
Talk about the evolution of your game. You got your feet wet a little bit last year at the tight end, and now kind of taking over that lead role, especially with the injury to Leighton. But just talk about your game, areas you've worked on, and just how you feel you're at right now, still pretty early on in your career.
Yes, sir. Last year I was fortunate to get the opportunities that I had, and I was very fortunate to kind of learn from Hunter Budke, and I think me and Leighton both took so much away from him, from his leadership and just how he carried himself on the field, and his accolades are second to none when it comes to tight ends for Fort Hays, and so I know we appreciated that for him, and I think last year kind of being thrown in the fire was a lot for me and Leighton at times, but we definitely relied on each other, and I think we both grew as players, and so it was hard, I think, for both of us when Leighton went down this fall, is because we both know that we make each other better, and that when we're both on the field, we make our offense better. And so it was definitely a challenge and very sad for both of us when he went down, and it kind of put things in perspective, okay, not only do I need to do what I think I can do, but I need to do what Leighton does for this team as well. And so still being, really close with him has been good, and this year I've just been really focused on trying to get better each week and trying to get better each day. I think that's kind of been our goal as a team this year, is just trying to improve on the little things. And so me personally, that's my goal, is just to get a little better each week and to be a guy that this team can look on to make plays and keep a level head when times are like that. And so definitely a lot of improvement, I think, for the team in general, but for me personally a lot. And I'm looking forward to just taking those little steps here and there and do what I can for this program and this team.